Now, don't get me wrong, San Diego State is a fantastic school. It's in a great location and would be a good ad for most Power 5 conferences. And I love the Gaslamp District as much as anybody. But if the Pac-12 thinks that San Diego State can help save them, they are sorely mistaken. Now, if you didn't know, last week the Aztecs sent an unofficial resignation letter to the Mountain West. And even though they don't have a Power 5 conference invite yet, the most likely destination, if you follow the bouncing balls, would be them replacing USC or UCLA in the Pac-12. Now, I'm not going to dive into the financials, even though they are important, but we'd be here for an hour and a half. But let's just say the Mountain West isn't going to cut them any breaks when it comes to a foreseen leaving situation. Now, San Diego State has a brand new stadium. It's really nice. They have a solid program with a solid fan base. But it's just unfair to ask them to even come close to saving the market the Pac-12 lost when USC and UCLA departed. Now, if the Pac-12 does bring them in, I appreciate the aggressiveness, but it's pretty much a bad sign for the future of the Pac-12. Now, that doesn't mean the logo is going to disappear, but I believe there are more big-time teams that are close to leaving the conference here shortly, and I'm not too optimistic about the league's new TV deal that they've got coming up. Now, the truth of the matter is, the Pac-12, from a Power 5 perspective, is a dying breed. I would not be shocked to see Sarah McLachlan starring in their next commercial, and for just 30 cents a day, you can help keep the Pac-12 alive for 5 years. Now, I don't enjoy saying that, and it seems they're going to be the first big casualty of conference reduction, as I call it, but if I wanted to make everyone happy, I would just sell ice cream for a living. Now, perhaps the saddest irony is this year will probably be the most competitive the league has been, top to bottom, since I can remember. Just look at the quarterbacks that are returning. Now, you can call it a last hurrah or going down swinging, but either way, the Pac-12, as we know, is pretty much Gonzo the Clown. I'm going to bring in my co-host, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, my brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crane. Guys, I don't love to see, I like the aggressiveness. I get it. It just makes sense. Some people said San Diego State to the Big 12. I'm not believing that. It's pretty much lines up for the Pac-12. Now, when you do look at the financials, they wanted that letter they sent to the Mountain West was trying to get an extension for another month before they have to withdraw because it's a difference of like $18 million. And they asked that so they can get somewhat of a reprieve from the financial situation that it would cost them by leaving the Pac-12. And the Mountain West was like, no, we're not going to play nice. If you're going to leave, then you're going to pay every cent of it. But the bigger picture here is, I know you have to replace USC and UCLA with somebody, but with those two gone, there's nobody out there that's going to replace that. And then you hear Utah may be going, Washington may be going, the Arizona schools may be going, and I love Fresno State as well and some of these other places. But there's just no way, David.
Yeah, so San Diego State would need to give a year notice to withdraw next June, is what this article says. If it waits past June 30th, the exit fee they would jump from $16.5 million to nearly $34 million. Yeah. And you talk about the aggressiveness. The Pac-12 hasn't even officially offered them yet. So that's what's the most interesting part of this, because none of this is surprising. We've been talking about San Diego State for a while, which is a fine university. We've been talking about Fresno State for a while. And when you say, San Diego State's not going to be able to replace USC and UCLA, I agree with that. Just like Houston and Cincinnati can't replace Texas and Oklahoma for the Big 12. But the more that you look at this, the more you have to tip your hat at what the Big 12 was able to do. Yeah. Because they said, okay, our two biggest brands are gone. Everyone thinks our conference is collapsing. And they pieced together a plan to at least be able to get four big markets, even if, not universities, the four big markets taken care of. So I think that, you talk about Utah, Colorado, and then the two Arizona schools for me, Arizona and Arizona State. Those schools seem like they can exit at any time to the Big 12 if they wanted, especially geographically. And Colorado always used to be in the Big 12. To me, what's most interesting is Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, and Washington State. Because those four schools, to me, up in the northwest part of the country, what are they going to do? Because that could dictate the fate of what's left with this conference.
No, without a doubt. I mean, when you look at what the Big 12 did, they said, all right, we lost two. We're going to bring in four. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of a recipe maybe the Pac-12 can use. But Blaine, again, when you look at the schools now that have either gone to the Pac-12 or you look at, and again, there is no official invite yet, but you look at what San Diego State just did in basketball as well. It's a nice draw for the Pac. I feel like should have gone ahead and offered it. I wouldn't be shocked if we find out there was an actual offer on the table. We're just not hearing about it. But I mean, who else is really left out there? I mean, Boise State.
I don't think there's anybody left out there that can come save the conference, right? I mean, what's a big enough name out there that you'd be happy with? Oh, this kind of fixes San Diego State's not even close, in my opinion. You're seeing the Pac-12 die. That's what you're seeing. They're on life support right now, and it's sad you brought it up early in your monologue. It's a good conference right now. I think San Diego State will come in and will have more success than what people think, because I do think they'll get invited, because I just don't think the pool is huge. I don't think a lot of people are itching to go to the Pac-12. And I heard Utah not making a lot of money right now. You're not making a lot of money in the Pac-12. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pac-12's gone in 5 years. Maybe less than that.
Maybe less. I tell you what is legitimate, all right? Your style when you shop with our friends over at Indochino, all right? And it's time to take it to the next level, because dressing for success can help you look better and be more confident. You're going to walk around with immense swagger. So whether you're attending an important meeting or networking event, or simply want to impress your colleagues, our friends at Indochino have everything you need, from business casual, dress shirts, camp shirts, and even blazers. This isn't just a suit place. All right, don't get it twisted. Indochino offers a wide variety of options for every occasion. David, you brought in your suit the other day.
Yep.
It was looking really, really fresh. I mean, look at these colors. It's 2023, man. You want to be popping when you walk outside, and Indochino's got it popping. The ordering process, unbelievably easy, and their camp shirts, which, you know, are my low-key favorite, are the perfect addition to your summer wardrobe. You have to check out their site and at least browse through the options. They have a shirt for the beach, barbecue, camping, and any occasion, really. So take your style to the next level with the Indochino. So go to Indochino.com. That's Indochino.com. Use our code BOOSTER and you get 10% off any purchase of $399 or more, which is very, very cheap. You can go anywhere and you're not, I'm telling you right now, Indochino, it's the best bang for your buck, and they do a really, really good job, and they make it easy for you. That's Indochino.com. Promo code BOOSTER. Look fly, my guy.
The biggest surprise to me is the TV deal. What's taking so long on signing some sort of TV deal? There's still top-notch football teams in that conference, and beyond football. Look, like you just talked about, you know, there's good basketball in that conference as well.
Well, I mean, you look and would it be something where the Pac-12 says, all right, Gonzaga, you come in as a basketball member only. We'll bring in San Diego State. We'll bring in Boise State. We'll bring in Fresno State. All of that stuff's fantastic. But if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, which we all know every conference is, with the Big 12 that is now, you know, raised the Titanic per se, and they look like they're here to stay. We know what the SEC is. We know what the Big 10 is. Even though the ACC is having some problems at the top from a revenue standpoint and certain schools wanting more, I don't see them going anywhere. It just isn't. If you're San Diego State and you're sitting, you're looking back, you're like, all right, we got a chance to join a Power 5 conference, maybe. Is it something where you want to join the Pac-12 as they're going down, or do you see maybe if something else opens up, you know, down the road, because geography doesn't matter anymore. Just look at USC and UCLA. So I find the whole discussion fascinating.
Well, I think you're San Diego State and you joined the Pac-12 and you had success earlier. That's only going to make you look like a better date at the dance, right? So come in, you have success. If I'm another Power 5 conference, sure, I'll take San Diego State. But at this point, if you're the Pac-12, I mean, who can you go get?
Yeah, that's it's again, the market.
Boise State, like if you're a non-football, Gonzaga, if you want to make real money, you better get a football money maker. That's what's going to keep you, not non-football sports. Basketball's only going to do so much. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going to keep up with the big boys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's more important than getting more schools in is just keeping other schools from leaving. You need to be on the phone with Oregon and Oregon State and Washington State, Utah especially, who's been winning the conference there. Be on the horn with them and keep them from leaving, and at least get to a point, keep your conference afloat long enough to see whatever the next iteration of college football is, because maybe that's what we're going, is that it's going to be so different that there are no more conferences, and then the Pac-12 can say, well, we at least survived to the, you know, the major restructuring.
Well, you know, the transfer portal isn't just for players. I mean, it's the exact same thing some coaches are dealing with in the transfer portal. You're having to re-recruit guys to stay, and then you have players that are still leaving and going other places. So we're going to keep monitoring it. Obviously, I hope the Pac-12 figures it out, but it just doesn't look like it to me. If I was a betting man, I would bet on the under for 5 years. From being, not that, like I said, not that the logo is going to disappear, but them being a legitimate Power 5 conference. And some people say they're not now. I don't agree with that. Hey, YouTube, thanks for checking us out. If you didn't know, we do a live sports show the way you like it, where it's mainly about sports and common sense from 6:30 to 8 a.m. Central. That's 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Come join us. We take live calls Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have a live chat, aka the Booster Club or the Trust Tree, where you can come under the wing and into our hearts. So make sure you subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and hit that like button. We really appreciate it.